I'm so excited for today's weekly live. And I'm really grateful to be here today. This is like the highlight of my week to be able to share this time with you. And I get really excited for it. I get those like really good butterflies in my stomach in anticipation of this time together. So I am grateful for you today and grateful for the content that we're going to be able to share together. So I know I haven't talked too much about it. I know I've shared that we're going to be talking about motivation and potentially 4 ways to hack motivation. But of course, I haven't said too much beyond that. So I'm really excited. So before we dive into the hacks, I guess the reason that it kind of came to me to talk about motivation today is because people really do ask me all the time where I get my motivation from. Like, where do I keep just getting that drive and motivation to go, 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 go? And if you know me or any bits of my story, you know that I've faced quite a bit of adversity in my life. I've had quite a few challenges in my life that I have overcome, and yet I've still always persevered through all of those challenges. I was a single mother for 5 years, for the first 5 years of my daughter's life. And this is just a small example, but I remember as a single mom, she would wake up naturally at 5. And so if I wanted to get my workout in, which was important to me, I set my alarm every single workday for 4 a.m. to work out. And that's just what I did. In 2012, not many people know this, but I was in a long-term relationship with a man, and he was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer very unexpectedly. And so we ended up having to leave our home in Rhode Island and move into the medical facilities at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston, Massachusetts. It was probably about 6 months that we were in those facilities. And probably some of the hardest months of my life to date, yet somehow during that time, I ran my first half marathon and I finished my MBA, graduating cum laude during that time. And even now, as I speak to you today, I am struggling with more health challenges than I can even fathom on some days. I was recently diagnosed with a mast cell disorder and have been struggling with long COVID since December, actually. And, it's been a really challenging couple of months, but even as I kind of go through those challenges, I sit here really doing as much as I possibly can because I'm living through service, through my passion and my purpose with you guys today, which is why I'm so grateful. So here's what I can promise you. I can promise you that not once over the past 2 months, or in any of the times at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, or as a single mom, not once in any of those times, and believe me, there's more examples too, did I ever feel motivated. Not once. And quite frankly, like motivation, I don't know that anything would have happened either way. So I'm sorry to kind of put a curveball here, but the subject of today, motivation will never lead to action. Motivation will never lead to results. You can't just wait to feel motivated. You can't just wait for motivation to just miraculously like pop into your life and get you going on whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve or whatever challenge it is that you're trying to overcome. It doesn't work like that. Motivation is not coming. It is not going to happen, and it is not going to motivate you. So like the reality is that like we're not supposed to want to do this stuff. Like I didn't want to move into a medical facility and, help somebody close to me through cancer. I don't want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to exercise, right? I don't want to do these things. There is a degree to where there is a sacrifice. And yes, there are some things where passion and purpose keep us moving and keep us driven. And that's definitely a topic that is going to be for another day. So stay tuned for that. But today we're really talking about the stuff like that we don't want to do, right? I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, I don't want to change anything. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to change some things. These are the things that we don't want to do. So we're going to have to hack it. So that's what I'm going to talk about today is a few ways that we can adjust what we're doing right now that's not working so that we can then start getting closer and closer to achieving that goal or overcoming that challenge that is in our way. And before we jump in, I want to give you an opportunity to just start to think about for yourself, what is that challenge that you want to overcome? What is that goal that you're working towards? What is that thing that you've been asking yourself or asking somebody for motivation for? I know I do hundreds of coaching sessions and people are asking for this every day. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday that wanted to, achieve a weight loss goal and a health goal. And I asked her, I said, hey, like what's stopping you? Like, what is really standing in your way? And her response was motivation. So I want you to take a minute right now to think about what is it that you have asked? Gosh, if I could just have a little bit of motivation to get started on this. Okay. So I'm going to just give a minute. I'm going to kind of hang back here for a minute. And I want you to write it down. If you're driving, thinking about it in your car, whatever, just make sure you're safe. And just think about what is it that you have been asking motivation for. What is it that you need motivation for? What is it that you've been asking for motivation for? What challenge do you want to overcome? What goal are you working towards? Sometimes just say to yourself, oh, if I just had a bit of motivation. How do I get motivation? If you tuned in and you're listening to this session right now because you wanted motivation, what do you want motivation for? Weighing heavy on your heart. So here we go. Let's dive in. 4 hacks. The first one is to be realistic and visualize that reality. So I don't want you to sell yourself short, but I also don't want you to set yourself up for failure either. So remember, when we talk about goals, and this is in a different session, but when we talk about, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound goals, SMART goals, you have to be realistic. That's one of the components, right? So let's stick on the weight loss example because I think everybody can relate to that. If you're trying to stay healthy, to lose a little bit of weight, like, yes, that is going to suck. And after, first, I want you to, yes, I want you to visualize the end goal. I want you to visualize how you're going to feel when you achieve that goal. I want you to picture, the image that you have for yourself when you achieve that goal. I do want you to do all of those things. But once you've done that, once you've visualized it and pictured it and have that crystal clear image of that end goal in your mind, I actually just want you to put it away. I want you to put it on a bookshelf, put it away, and start thinking about the reality that is about to ensue. So I want you to now put that on the shelf and start picturing, craving all the foods that you're withholding. I want you to picture the social engagements where you're going out to dinner and your friends are eating pizza and cocktails and you're sipping on soda with a splash of cranberry and having a salad. I want you to picture yourself bundling up in 7-degree weather with a blister on your left toe and running in the rain. And I want you to picture one week weighing in 5 pounds heavier instead of 5 pounds lighter because, like, for some unknown reason that happened and you just can't decipher it. And it is so infuriating. I want you to picture that. Picture all of this stuff because all of this stuff is the reality. And it's the reality of our collective journey. And if you don't picture this stuff and you don't set yourself for the reality of your journey, you will never achieve the end goal that you put on the shelf. Number 2, edit your environment. I promise you that if there is something in your life that you are seeking motivation for, just look at your list that you wrote down, that there is something in your environment can change. If there is something that you want to, a challenge you want to overcome or a goal you want to achieve, I guarantee you something in your environment can change. So maybe it's getting rid of the booze. Maybe it's throwing the snack drawer away. Lay your workout clothes out the night before or put them in your work bag. Write affirmations on your mirrors. Put a child lock on your TV or somehow throw the remote somewhere in a safe so you can't just turn it on and veg out on the couch. Give yourself phone alarm reminders. Change your commute home. Those are just a couple that came to mind. Here are a few things that I've done in my life. I, especially into my sobriety, sugar just became like, oh my gosh. And I know a lot of people in recovery can relate to this. Sugar was my arch nemesis. I could not get enough of it. But it was just wreaking havoc on my body and I had to get rid of it. So I literally one Saturday afternoon, Paul and Annabelle were out at soccer practice. I kid you not, 3 trash bags. And I threw out every single thing in the house that contained sugar, every single thing. Because if it's not there, you can't eat it. There's no temptation, right? I changed my environment. They were not happy. I stopped buying marshmallows altogether. I've had a marshmallow addiction my entire life and I just don't buy them anymore. It's just, I can't, they can't be in my house. And I know that, right? So that's it. I changed my environment. In my drinking days, I would change my drive to daycare. So I worked downtown Dallas at the time and I would take a different route to her daycare so that I could grab her before I passed the liquor store. Because if I did that, then I had a much easier time of avoiding, dragging a car seat into a liquor store on the wrong side of town. So I changed my environment. Number 3. Do it anyway. I'm going to say it again. Do it anyway. Stop making excuses. This is not meant to be fun. You're not meant to like it. It's not supposed to be enjoyable. If it was, and if it was easy, then guess what? Everybody would be doing it. They're not. You are. So it's fine. It's totally fine to complain, throw a mini tantrum. I give myself 5 minutes. I'm like, Louise, you have 5 minutes to complain about whatever it is that is on your mind. And then after those 5 minutes, just do it anyway. Okay, so allow yourself 5 minutes to have a little tantrum and then just do it anyway. Because guess what? The motivation is not coming. You just have to do it. And it's not easy. And you might not want to. You most likely won't want to. The journey will suck at times. The journey will be awesome at times too. And despite it all, it's simple. And I promise you that you are more than capable of what it is that you want to achieve. I actually guarantee that. I promise that to you. So the fourth hack is start before you are ready. And I have a piece that I've written that I'm going to share with you to demonstrate the idea of starting really and truly before you are ready. So think of one time in your life when you accomplished something just incredible, something amazing, the kind of accomplishment that you wanted to scream from every rooftop, that you wanted to post on every social media channel, and that you wanted to just share with every cherished loved one that you have. If you need help getting your kind of brain rolling, how about a job promotion that you earned? The gorgeous baby that you welcomed into the world? The house you bought? The business you opened? The race you ran? What about that first car you bought? Your wedding? The epic trip around North Africa that you took? The degree you earned from university? The second degree you earned with your MBA? Your sobriety? I'm not sure what you're thinking right now, but I know my list just keeps growing and growing, and I couldn't be more proud. But, that's not to say that there weren't bumps and bruises along the way. I took a leave of absence from my MBA program to care for my ex with stage 4 cancer that I mentioned earlier this afternoon. I wasn't ready to buy my first car, and I actually put myself in a lot of debt when I did that. The business has been the most incredible experience, but I wasn't prepared to be so sick for, these past 2 months. That was a huge curveball. And I certainly was not ready at the time to bring my beautiful little girl, Annabelle, into the world when I did. So yes, I can honestly say that I wasn't ready for any of it, but I did it anyway. And if you ask me, would I change a thing? Yeah, sure. I'd probably change some things. And have I had invaluable lessons? Without a doubt. Absolutely. So would any of my success and accomplishments have happened in my life if I waited until I was ready? Absolutely not. Not a chance. Not a single chance. Not a single big accomplishment that I am proud of in my life did I feel ready to begin. So you don't have to be ready. You don't have to be prepared. You don't have to have the answers. A gut feeling, a burning desire. That's enough. Just count down from 5 and jump. So here are my 4 hacks to summarize. The first is to visualize the reality and the suck. So visualize that end goal, picture, that beautiful rainbow at the end, but then also remember to picture every bump and bruise along the way. That's critical to the success. Without that, you won't achieve that rainbow or pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The second is to edit your environment. Any micro changes. So again, if you think like Louise, you're out of your mind for throwing away every piece of sugar, okay, fine, I'm an extremist. But what if you just threw away the candy jar? Or what if you just, restocked the snack drawer, right? Any teeny tiny 1% micro change to your environment is going to be getting you closer to where you want to be going. So be proactive. That's where you can be proactive with whatever it is you're seeking motivation for, right? Look at your environment and just start with your desk, right? If you're overwhelmed by the whole house, start with your desk, start with your bed. The third one is my tough love from me to you. Just do it anyway. Stop making excuses. Motivation is not coming. Just do it anyway. And the fourth hack is to start before you are ready. So just acknowledge that whatever it is that you want to achieve or overcome, most likely you are not going to feel ready to begin that journey, which means that's exactly why you should be beginning now. So at the end of the day, there is no motivation. There is you versus you, and what you choose to do. So I have so many tips and tricks and hacks that we will be learning together to make it easier and more achievable for you. And that's really my goal and what I want to bring to the table for you. But at the end of the day, there is no such thing as motivation. So we're all about to log off here. But I just want you to take a look, if you wrote it down earlier in today's session, about what it is that you wrote down that you want motivation for, that you're seeking motivation for. And I challenge you, as I turn off the Zoom, just start. Just think of one teensy tiny thing that you can do to just start. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.